That ASEAN is doing something that other regions are doing, strengthening economic cooperation. We have significantly downgraded our projections for global growth. Major trade policy shifts have spiked uncertainty off the charts, accompanied by tighter financial conditions and higher market volatility. Simply put, the world economy is facing a new and major test, and it faces it with policy buffers depleted by the shocks of recent years. Some may see shocks that warrant temporary and targeted fiscal. Among major economies, some countries like China need to act to boost private consumption and embrace a shift to services. Others, like the United States, need to reduce fiscal deficits. And in Europe, it is time to complete the single market, banking union, capital market union, removing internal barriers to intra-EU trade. Get it done. So, yep.
I can attest to that. Let's go here. A gentleman.
First and most urgent, for countries to work constructively to resolve trade tensions as swiftly as possible, preserving openness and removing uncertainty. A trade policy settlement among the main players is essential. And we are urging them to do it swiftly because uncertainty is very costly. I cannot stress this strongly enough. Without certainty, businesses do not invest, households prefer to save rather than to spend, and this further weakens prospects for already weakened growth. Thank you, Judy, and a very warm welcome to all. All countries should seize this moment to lower their trade barriers, both tariff and non-tariff.
Secretary Besant's prescriptions here for the fund, will it cause you to sort of rethink some of the lending programs like the RSF and the RST?
When we look at the data, what we see is that for the United States, recession risks have increased now to 37%, but we are not yet, we don't see either in the labor market or in indicators for the functioning of the economy such a dramatic block of economic activities that would drag growth in the United States all the way to below zero. So, as you remember, thank you for your question. Indeed, Asia is a continent that is quite central banks will need to strike a delicate balance between supporting growth and containing inflation. To do so, they must not only adjust policy interest rates, but also rely on credibility to anchor expectations. Central bank independence is critical for credibility. Protect it.
Many countries there are exporters of intermediate goods that go into major...
Thank you for your question. Indeed, Asia is a continent that is quite significantly impacted because economies that rely a lot on export, when tariffs are announced, feel the pinch more. I am particularly concerned about ASEAN. Why? Because ASEAN, very open economies, they find themselves in a very tough spot with announced tariffs quite significant across the board in ASEAN countries. With regard to China, we are emphasizing 4 points. First, rebalance your economy towards domestic consumption more. Second, to help with this, bring to an end the turmoil in the property sector. And of course, add social protection for people so they don't feel compelled to save rather than spend. Third, lift up services, a warm embrace of from healthcare to education to basically the service sector vis-a-vis the goods consumption. And the fourth is very important. Get the government to pull back from too much intervention in the economy. Let the private sector function to its full capacity. Our intention is to first and foremost help them rebuild institutions so they can plug themselves in the world economy. The direct impact of tariffs on most of Africa, not on all of Africa, but on most of Africa, is relatively small. But the indirect impact is quite significant. Slowing global growth means that all other things equal, they would see a downgrade, and actually we have downgraded growth prospects for the continent. Thank you for your question. Indeed, Asia is a continent that is quite